Hey everybody, it's Steve with Real Progressives. Talking about social media for just a minute. Short stream. Thinking about, the how effective it is to try to operate on social media. Try to make really important points and try to educate people or expand your mind through social media. I come into this thing, my perspective is a little bit different. When I started doing social media, I started doing it more so as a reaction to going to online college than I did the other way around, doing social media and then doing online college. So I got my entire undergrad degree online, mostly. And then a large part of my master's degrees I got done online. And each week we would have a chat room. In that chat room, they would have to post what you had written regarding some question the professor had given you. And you had to really think about it. You had to document your sources. You had to explain why you disagreed with someone. You couldn't be a rude bastard. You couldn't be a troll. You had to actually think through the problem. And you would go through this whole thing. And at the end of the day, you would end up looking and you would learn something. You would actually learn something. You had to read the papers. You had to read the articles. You had to read the books. You had to enter into an actual back and forth discussion with people. Here, what we see so much on Facebook and even Twitter, people come in there and they say, this article sucks. Oh, this is full of shit. Oh, you stupid effer. That's awesome, man. You wake up in the morning and you say, what am I going to do today? What am I going to do today? I don't know. Why don't I say something sucks on Facebook? Why don't I just say this is stupid on Facebook, right? But in college, I learned an awful lot. The week we were actually physically in class, we would be in there from 8 in the morning till 6 at night. And we would have group activities where we had to work in small teams to get things done. Meetings couldn't go on forever. People didn't just yap their mouths. They worked through the problems. They had to finish it. There was a timeline. There was a deadline. They got things done. And everybody learned. Everybody actually learned. And everybody didn't always agree. There was a lot of smart people that disagreed in those classroom settings. And because I was doing adult education, there was a lot of people that already had doctorates. And there was a lot of people going for their first master's degrees. But nonetheless, the people talked, they thought through the problems. And you came out the other side with a new understanding. Even if you never agreed with the other person, you at least understood the other side. And oftentimes they would make you take a point of view that you totally didn't agree with, but you had to find out all there was to that alternative point of view and defend it. And you got smarter a whole lot quicker. And you learned a whole lot more. And your world became that much more rich. And when you had interactions with people, you knew where they were coming from. But here, we could sit there and post the most important article about how we can solve climate change. Or we would post an article about something really important, like how we could pay for a new deal so people don't think that the country's broke. Or maybe we're talking about something else. Who knows, right? The point is that 9 times out of 10, if you look through the comments, people just, this is stupid. Oh, gee, thanks, Real Progressives, for whatever, right? It's always some condescending little troll bit, little snappy thing out there, instead of really taking the time to read the material. If you have an objection, if there's something out there that can help everybody get smarter, then friggin' provide the source for your objection. We had posted something earlier, for example, about how, we could use renewable energies, whether it be sun, whether it be wind, whether it be leveraging hemp for offsetting some of the oil output or oil needs. There's a whole host of things that we can do that are different than what we do today. And of course, somebody had to come in and say, well, use facts, stop saying these things. And I was looking for their facts. They didn't have any supporting documentation for their thing. They were just coming in there trying to sound cool and edgy and slamming somebody. Whatever, man. It doesn't do anything. But the point of this is, I use social media. I use this platform so that I can meet people that are smarter than myself, so I can learn things from other people, so I can educate people that are really seeking knowledge about things like economics, and then I work together with them. Now, when somebody just comes in and says something completely unsourced and just drops a big bunch of derp on you, what do you do with that? I mean, there's nothing to do with that. You're starting from a point of -5 spots just to get to neutral. They're not even trying. It's not like they read the article and said, let me think about that. No, they sat there, they read the snippet that we put at the top of the article, and they decided they were going to attack that 2 or 3 sentences right there with everything they don't have. But isn't the goal of being a part of revolutionary media and being a part of a movement to try and make the movement successful? I mean, isn't that what your goal is? Or is your goal to cut down other people that are trying to learn and trying to put forward these thoughts and these ideas so that we can win? I see more trolling. And now maybe it's Brock people. Maybe it's just whatever, right? But I see a lot more of that than I do of any kind of thoughtful interaction. And I don't really care about tone. I use tone harshly to make a point all the time. But I tend to back what I say up with resources. I tend not to just sit there and say things and not have anything to back it up. Am I always right? No, I'm human. Do I always source everything I do? I try. But the point is that you want the movement to grow and get smarter. And you look at platforms like Facebook or Twitter, and you ask yourself, are they really helping promote healthy interactions, healthy learning? Are we really gaining from these things what we could gain from them? I mean, I think that we have a real opportunity to use these platforms to benefit us so that we're smarter, so that we can take our new information and activate that out into the public space. But I think, honestly, the medium is set up more for knee-jerk reactions. Oh, I like that. Oh, I hate that. Oh, I love that. Instead of actually taking the time to think about what's there. Apparently, Justice Democrats went out there and put out a thing basically saying we'd like Cenk to resign. I don't know if he has or not, but the point is, we'd like Cenk to resign because of obvious hypocrisy from things that he said however many years ago. I don't typically care about that stuff because it really doesn't make or break me anything. Doesn't forward, advance anything I care about, really. Okay? But that's news out there right now. It's making its rounds. So what do people do? They don't sit there and talk about the situation that he's involved in. They just go, this article's shit. Oh, real progressives are attacking progressives. This kind of low-level, zero intellect kind of reactions. Like dummy reactions. And there's nothing gained from that. And if you think there's something gained from that, then that's probably part of the problem. Because that's what you get mostly. Just these knee-jerk reactionaries. No actual thought. No actual sparks firing behind the eyes. Just trolling. Just outright trolling. And then you see in the live feeds of all these different folks that do live streams, the people that are really supportive of the message are saying, please block the trolls, ignore the trolls, get rid of the trolls. And you got everybody else giving advice, just ignore the trolls, just ignore them. But that right there, that whole thing, what's that do for you, man? It just distracts, takes away from any kind of meaningful gains that could be had. It just seems like a waste, doesn't it? Seems like a waste to me. You do this 7 days a week and you start looking out there and you ask yourself, putting an awful lot of time into this thing, is there any real benefit from it? Is the benefit equaling the effort? I don't know. I'm not sure I can answer that with a yes right now. I hope it does. I hope it is. But honestly, I see far more trolls out there. And I'm hoping that the people that are quietly observing, that aren't actually engaging, that are just reading, I hope they're taking the time to learn. Because the people with the loud fingers typing away, the keyboard warriors, they end up stealing the oxygen from the situation. They end up detracting from actually making the movement effective. So I'm really hoping you lurkers out there, the folks that just read stuff that don't necessarily comment or take the time to click like, I hope you guys are actually getting something from these things. And something else too, with the way Facebook algorithms are you really seeing the important things you want to see? They seem to have censored things down so much that out of 120,000 followers, we get such a small portion of people that actually see our posts. It's unbelievable. They try and sucker you into boosting posts, paying money to get your own followers, the people that follow your page, to see your posts. People that have been lifelong followers since we began, come to my inbox and say, Steve, I haven't seen any of your posts in like 3 weeks. What's going on? But yet we've got some troll that doesn't know or care or anything about what we're doing that sees our posts. Something's not right. These mediums are really, really screwing up a really good thing. Something that could be really, really wonderful. And obviously we know Zuckerberg is on the take. We know Zuckerberg is in bed with sources that have nothing to do with benefiting society. But that notwithstanding, why is it that they would take a medium such as this and block the very people that want to see it? Keep it out of their newsfeed. Why would that happen? Why would they open it up to people that are just trolls that really don't have an interest in seeing what's going on? So I guess the question for the day is social media actually useful? Or is it just some release for you to be slamming on your keyboard, yelling and screaming at people with keystrokes? People that if you were standing face to face, you'd probably get your ass kicked. But on a keyboard, you can feel big, bold, and bad and just type away, say things. I don't know. Jury's out on it. Anyway, I'm Steve Grumbine with Real Progressives. Have a great day, everyone.